Hey guys, welcome to another day with Zimaleta. In today's video I'm going to be putting up more trim. Yesterday I already have tried a little bit. As you could see, this window right here, I installed it. It still does not have any caulking and stuff. I know I showed you guys this in a recent video, so I was just kind of like trying to test fit these type of things. It worked out, I think, pretty good. But one of the things I was kind of wondering is, how is this stuff that I've been gluing yesterday with PVC glue, like, is it glued, like, is it even working? I'm not really even sure. So let's take a look. You see here, I'm gonna go to the bottom here, and I'm gonna remove the clamps. Now let's see if the stuff will even fall apart or if it's going to hold. Okay, so I'm gonna lift this one up. Wow, that's really surprising. I did not expect for it not to fall apart. Because yesterday was a cold day, and this stuff was drying for like forever. Even after 2 hours of just it laying there, it was still not dry. One of the other ones I'm concerned about is this one here. I'm gonna try to remove it. Yeah, that other one, it's gonna fall apart as soon as I take it. For some reason, it didn't work at all. Possibly the sizes on that one is not exact, so yeah, it didn't really work out, but it's okay. This is for this side window over here, the smaller one. I guess the important one is for me is to, you know, make sure this big one works. This is just the back side of it. It seems like it's kind of tough. There is still a lot of gapping and stuff in between. Of course, like when I cut the stuff, you know, I measure everything and everything seems like it's square, but I'm not sure like why. Like when you actually putting this stuff together, it's not quite square, because it should technically be pretty square. But every time you try to square out like one end, the other one becomes undone. But anyways guys, let's begin and start installing stuff. As for this window guys, this is something I wanted to kind of point out. You see how the window's like way back there? It's actually perfectly exactly aligned with the 2x4 walls. These are replacement type of windows, so it actually kind of goes in. Basically the windows need to be brought out, kind of like I did with that one, and then it becomes flush with this. So I'm gonna have to take him out and basically put him in. I kind of left it on purpose, that way you guys could kind of see. And then I do have some area to kind of like move it around, like back and forth, if I need to kind of like put it like a little bit more to the left here. I will need to adjust this window as well. There's a little bit more gapping there than here, and I gotta shift this window over like 1/4. When I actually shift it over, I'm gonna have a couple trim pieces that's gonna go here, and they're gonna basically be flush with this one, and it's gonna look very complete. You might notice that these windows, even though they're new, they're a little bit dirty with this kind of like insulation stuff. This is the expanding foam insulation that I've used. It expanded too much, and then I had to cut the stuff out, and of course it makes the windows a little bit dirty, but it's okay. I'm going to try to clean them as much as possible. But this is some caulking over here too, that's kind of like left over. I may end up just touching them up with some same kind of paint that I'll be using for the trim. I do see a difference with the colors. The windows are a little bit more whiter than this type of trim, so if they say like you could just leave it on low, not painting it, I think it's a lazy way of doing it. I think it does need to get painted. So like when you actually put some caulking and stuff, you know, go ahead and paint these windows, or maybe even paint them before caulking, but I think I would paint them right after. That way you could actually paint the caulking and everything all together. Of course, it would probably look best if you paint it before caulking, but I think it just doesn't make any sense really, because then you would stop to paint the trim, then you would caulk and stuff. It would just make it much longer. So I think it's just, you get your caulk and then you actually paint it right after. So I kind of like the results here, guys. It's the same thing gonna go here. It's pretty much gonna be double trim. It's gonna go here and there. It's gonna create like a little column, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably align them kind of closer inside. Let me kind of show you what I mean. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the project now. I do believe it's getting ready to start raining, and I have to get prepared for an auction as well. So I really want to give this a little bit more thought before I proceed further. Of course, by the time you guys watch this video, these windows will be put up, because my videos are a little bit delayed unless I tell you they're not. So because I try to make a lot of videos. This is actually my 4th video today. Some of them were sprinter videos, and if you guys watch those, then you know today was a window trim day. So between yesterday and today, I've been trying to figure this out as to what's going to be the best scenario for building window trim. I first kind of thought that building window frame casings all the way around the window and gluing them together with PVC glue, I thought that was the best scenario, and it might be. But that little window right there, I basically just built it right there in a spot, and that was really fast. And that's the way I like to work. I like to work fast without really slowing down, because gluing these things, I had to really stop and start gluing and waiting till it bonds, checking every 15 minutes, and checking after an hour it was not glued, checking 2 hours it's not glued. Today, when I came, this window was glued just fine. That one was literally falling apart, so it's really weird. It's kind of like hit and miss type of thing. I did, had like clamps installed on both of these windows to try to, help it adhere, like adhesion process to take place as straight as possible. But I really did not like this method very much. It's just a very time consuming, and I'm all about saving time. I might start working a little bit later in the day, but I get a lot of stuff done due to the fact that in my mind I already have a plan together, and I just go boom, 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 and I get stuff done. But as with window trim, I've never really did window trim, in all my years. I only fixed some rotted wood trim and stuff, and that was simple cut off and replace, and basically like that. But that was a while ago. But this is my own home that I'm messing with, and man, it's not hard to do them. It's not hard to do them at all, so I don't want to say it's hard at all. But like I told you, you could either glue them or you could nail them down. Like, it's up to you, and I think I'm gonna go with the nailing down solution a little bit better. And then with the trim, you also have a choice whether you want a window stick out all the way on the trim, or kind of like halfway there, or kind of like a window to be behind the trim, kind of flush. I do like the look behind the window type of flush, but I think a window together with trim would probably still look good, but it's just gonna be like one of those things that I'll have to try, see if I like that or not. But I really like how that window came out. It was just perfect. There was perfect type of lines, like little steps and stuff. I really like how that looked. And by the way, guys, something I do want to mention, this trim here, I actually went ahead and very easily flipped it around, and then I basically put staples in the back. And I think I should have probably used staples to begin with. Next time, if I will be gluing trim, I'm gonna glue it when it's flipped around instead of being faced up, to minimize the ugliness. Plus, once I glue it, I could go ahead and staple it right there and then, and that's going to be like a little bit more stronger. So I think it does need to be stapled and glued at the same time. I was hoping just to glue with PVC glue and it would be just a solid bond, but it didn't happen this time, and maybe due to the temperatures being kind of cold. However, I will test this method in probably like one of my later videos. I'll probably have like some smaller pieces, glue them together, and then we'll try to break them, try to see like how well they bond and stuff. I'm probably going to time that kind of stuff too, and just to see if that's even a good idea at all. As far as for the big window trim like this, gluing them together, then you need like a couple people for the installation. Like I had to basically have my wife to help me out. To me, I don't think it's a good scenario, because there's more chance of a problem happening, like it breaking apart and stuff, and you just spend all the time gluing it together. I much rather like to work alone and cut every single individual trim and just basically use a level to try to make sure it's leveled and put on the window. With this type of scenario, you're just trying to basically align it together with the windows because it's already made. So you could only be so much off, you know. So if the windows are installed properly and square, then it's going to be square. And of course, my windows are square. And once the caulking goes in, and you know, I straighten out that little window, even though it's probably straight, but I'm going to try to straighten out just a little bit. It's going to be pretty flush. I think it's going to look good. Plus, what I could do is I could remove the screws and push the windows out just a little bit more to create just a little bit more of a flush type of feel, even though I've done that here, but I haven't done on this window. I already have, you know, this window, like there's something over here blocking it, so I have to like first remove it, and you know, like in the back of the window, so I could actually remove it and readjust it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This video is it's just one of those videos. It's kind of like I got like barely done, but I made a lot of videos today, guys. But you know, it's gonna have to do for now. So see you guys in my next video, and thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and like my videos if you like them. So take care. Bye bye.